Welcome back to the Who's Yanks. Bienvenue à la Who's Yanks. We're talking Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Today we are continuing our continued video of the USMNT. There's a lot, as I said, that will be released in the coming days, let alone if I do them all today, I might just pre-record them and release them. So this might be released later on today. It could be tomorrow, but just trying to make sure you guys, no videos crisscross, and you know how the YouTube algorithm works, and make sure no video interferes with one another. But we're continuing we're going to be focusing a lot on the USMNT coming up in a few days. A lot of videos, as I said. I have decided I'm going to go back and talk about the TV deal made with Turner Sports, as well as maybe a few other things. But for sure, right now, including this video, we're going to be talking about one of the two player announcements and commitments that have been announced over the past coming days, weeks, let alone, we've got Gabriel Slonia, who just chose the USMNT over Poland. And keep in mind, before this, he was called up into the Polish national team, and now he just came up with a big statement, saying that he chooses right now at the moment to represent the USMNT, the Yanks, over Poland. And this is huge in many ways, which I'm going to talk about this in an article that we're going to read together, as well as even his own statement. And I don't know, by the way, sorry if I kept saying Gabriel. Or Gabriel. It's Gabriel Slonia, not Gabriel. So I don't know why I was saying Gabriel Slonia, but it's Gabriel. And apologies in latter videos if I kept mispronouncing his name, especially in U.S. Open Cup videos. I know I probably talked about him because of Chicago Fire, but nonetheless, we all know MLS is all. If you watch MLS, everybody's known that this guy right here, nicknamed Gaga. He's been one of the breakout goalkeepers with Dane St. Clair, and quickly becoming one of the star keepers of the league. And I won't be surprised if he gets a call up until the MLS versus Igai Meki's All-Star game in Minnesota this August, given how his performance has been off the charts for Chicago Fire. Even so much that the Polish national team wanted him badly. And I think in the article they said there's still a chance that this is not set in stone, but he just pledged it over social media, so I don't think anything's really set in stone yet. But him just pledging it alone on social media is a huge statement for the USMNT and the Yanks and whole U.S. soccer. As we see the continued development and the continued results of this player pipelines development. Dual nationals, yes, it's dual national. Yes, they're not solely American players, but it still counts. Dual national, only American, doesn't matter. He's coming up through the pipeline, and it's just adding to the growth spurt of this amount of USMNT players that we're seeing that are emerging and are really coming together to build what's going to be an incredible USMNT Yanks squad, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. And it's also adds to the talent depth in terms of goalkeeper depth, which is also really needed. It's another one spot that's needed, just like the number 9 is open. The goalkeeper chart is arguably open also for the USMNT, as you've got Zach Steffen. He's playing over Man City. Well, you can say playing in quotations because he's mainly riding the pine, but he's not really, even though he is playing with one of the best clubs in the world, he's not really seeing a lot of playing time. So, right there, that's already, problem number 1. Number 2, Matt Turner. Recently, he is moving to Arsenal from New England Revolution. He just came off of his injury. He's recovering, and I believe he's back playing again with the New England Revolution. Played a couple games already. And yeah, he's about to, just in time to play with Arsenal. But we'll see, as I said with Zach Steffen, how much playing time will he actually get? Is he going to ride the pine just like he did, just like Steffen did at Man City, or will Matt Turner actually get some decent playing time at Arsenal? By the way, my favorite EPO team, Arsenal, go Arsenal. And so, good to see a USMNT represent my favorite team over there. And, hopefully he gets playing time, decent amount of playing time. If not, we're going to have another Zach Steffen, a keeper that rides the pine despite playing for one of the top-tier footballing clubs in the world, which it's not what you want really as a national team. Yes, you want to see them go to the best clubs, but not only you don't want to just see them go to the best clubs, you also want to see them play at the best clubs, which is what everybody's calling for. And all USMNT fans are right. Don't just go to the ride of pine. You get experience in the practices and training practice and ground stuff, but what matters really above all is the playing time you get in games. So, how many shots do you actually face in real-time performances? How well do you perform? Which is why it brings me to the third keeper that the USA had. That he's, by the way, forever a hero. Not Matt Hor, but Ethan Horvath. Go back to the Mexico game in June 6th. Nations League came off, saved the penalty for an injured Zach Staffen. And I believe last time you checked, He was playing over in England, Nottingham Forest, I believe. But even then, I don't really know if he's starting keeper because I've looked at a couple games and I haven't really seen. So that's three keepers that, despite playing on some of the top clubs in the world or best footballing clubs, in Europe especially, they're not really getting a heck of a lot of playing time, which that's another disappointment. And Gabriel Slonia right here, which is why this one is a fourth keeper who's actually getting reps in games and lots of playing time. That's why this matters a lot, because he's constantly playing with the Chicago Fire. He's starting with them, and there is no second choice goalkeeper. So he is the star right now of Chicago Fire. He is right now keeping them in the whole thing. Although I know domestically they're struggling again, but Gabriel Slonia he's put up a couple clean sheets, and he's constantly getting tested, and he's only 18 years old. And we got to remember that he's young, and so even though he's probably gonna come with the U.S. under 20 before if he does still choose the USMNT in the seniors, he will probably make an appearance for the under 20 team. By the way, I believe their qualifying campaign is ongoing, or maybe it's finished up. But now that he said he's willing, or he is going to play with the USMNT over Poland, hey, he's got to go ahead and just get him started in the under 20 team. And that under 20 team, we saw what Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, we saw what they did. They made that incredible run against all the way to Ecuador. All the way, unfortunately, they got knocked out, but it was great. Gabriel Slonia could beat the under 20 team in another way too. And just like where the players are, Christian Pulisic, look where they are now. Gabriel Slonia, if he does play with the under 20s, and if he is going to do, we could have a fourth goalkeeper, which that's good. He's younger too. So, let's see. We look at the ages. I believe Zach Steffen's like 23, maybe. I might be wrong on this one. Something's 23, 27. Ethan Horvath is 25, I believe. And Matt Turner is 25 or 27. So the goalkeepers are kind of mid to in their late 20s, and bringing on an 18-year-old keeper, and that's an incredible gift if he decides to still choose and stick with the Yanks coming in the future. That's an incredible decision, incredible result for the USMNT. And as I said, it adds the talent depth, the goalkeeper depth that the USA really needs. Is one of the hot spots right now. Is one of the strikers, and yeah, this is really big. And before I keep rambling on and how good this is, I could keep going on. I do want to read the article as well as even his own statement, and we'll just talk about what this means. And even the article itself will also help explain this as well. So we go to the article, and it's by ESPN, and it's Chicago Fire goalkeeper Gabriel Slonia, not Gabriel Slonia as I've been saying. So once again, Gabriel Slonia chooses the USMNT over Poland. Chicago Fire FC's Gabriel Gaga Slonia has pledged his international future to the U.S., and the player has announced his social media on Friday, which was yesterday. And we keep reading. Slonia, 18, had been seen himself dragged into a tug-of-war between both the U.S., where he was born, and the Poland, his birth country of his parents. Slonia has already represented the U.S., starting at the U15 level, all the way to the U20 level, so he is already playing at the U20 level. He has also been called into the U.S. camp twice in the past 7 months, though he has yet to be capped at the senior level. Poland manager, sorry I'm going to butcher this name, Czesław Michniewicz presented, sorry I butchered that, but I'm going to just try my best, presented Slonia with a Polish jersey on the day of the Fire's recent U.S. Open Cup match tweet, as well as this week, and also called him up to the roster on the UEFA's Nations League matches that Poland has against Belgium and the Netherlands and Wales this June. But now, Slonia has chosen to represent the U.S., so right already, there's a big statement, and it shows his player statement in that tweet right there, which we're going to read, but we'll read through the article first. However, this decision is not fully binding. FIFA rules allow players to switch their international allegiances if they've played in fewer than 4 games not including appearances in World Cup finals or Continental Tournament finals. And all of this has occurred before the player turns 21. So kind of like with Yunus Musa. Yunus Musa, remember everybody was he was like, hurry up and get him keep playing him in international friendlies. It started with the Wales game, then went to the Northern Ireland, and then a couple other friendlies, and then the Costa Rican game. I believe he was officially cap-tied as after the Nations League, so because he played 4 or 5, and now he's played in the World Cup qualifying in a couple games too. So he's here to stay. Maybe should Slonia stay? We've got to see how he plays. So I'm from Greg Berhalter. I would try my best to give him a look. Heck, maybe if you can. I don't know if this is probably a bit much to ask, but I mean, like, play him in. I don't know about the Morocco game. I mean, that might be a little tough for him, but hey, maybe it's a friendly. You could also play him in the Grenada match, coming up. But yeah, I mean, so like for Nation League, but then he'll probably be cap tied to the team. So there's lots of room to work with, and from Greg Berhalter, I'm glad. But now I'm glad he's committed. But from him, keep staying on him. Keep saying, hey, you're gonna see the field. You're gonna get a lot of playing time with this team if you hang on and stay with it. So from Greg Berhalter, make sure you keep this guy in your grasp. Don't lose him because he's by far a darn good goalkeeper. I'm gonna keep reading, but Slonia seems unequivocal in declaring his his intentions to play for the U.S. if the opportunity allows. While he has said that he is very proud of my roots and heritage, he also said his heart is American. This country has given me, this is part of his quote that I'm going to reread later on after the article, but so that's why it's going to be repeated. This country has given me and my family all the opportunities I could ever ask for. It's pushed me and supported me through good and bad. I understand the privilege of wearing the badge, and the only time I'll put my head down is to kiss it. America is home, and that's who I'm going to represent. Slonia was also not included in the USMNT roster for the June friendlies and Nations League matches announced Friday. So looks like a roster drop, and I'll be doing probably announcement roster on that as well. And although head coach Greg Berhalter cited the players' recent slip in form for Chicago, he expressed delight for Slonia's long-term commitment. As I said, he's having a little load right now, but him committing to the team is really big. And yeah, as I said, looks like they just announced a roster commitment, so I'll be doing that now that they just said that and they brought that to my attention. So that'll also be another video in the USMNT roster. Maybe Canada also released theirs as well, but for sure that's going to add to a lot of videos that we already have going on to the USA, which makes the US fans on this channel a lot happier. Keep reading. I'm going to keep reading. I just had a really open conversation with him, and that's all we can really do, Greg Berhalter said in a media availability on Friday. I talked to him, and we'll see where he is with him. His response is great. He understands where he's at. He's going to work to get out of where he's at, but he said he's still committed to us, and that's all you can hear. You make relationships with players, you welcome players into the group, guys make them feel welcome, and you hope that's enough, that at the end of the day, they decide. But in Gaga's case, also his heart was telling him where to go, and that's a really important part of the equation. Slonia, if you guys excuse me, Slonia was signed by the Fire out of its academy back in 2019 when he was just 14 years old. He made his professional debut last August in a match against NYCFC, becoming the youngest starting goalkeeper in the league's history at 17 years old in 81 days. He has since gone on to make 23 league appearances with 9 clean sheets. And that's where the article ends by ESPN. So hope you guys enjoyed that article. And now we're going to read and transition into the full player statement by Gabriel Slonia. And yeah, hopefully I haven't been saying Gabriel Slonia, but if I have, once again, it's Gabriel. But now it's Gabriel Slonia. We're going to be reading his statement, his personal statement that he mentioned yesterday on social media. As I said, most of this might be repeated as it was mentioned in the ESPN article already, but nonetheless, I am going to read his official statement that he said on social media. It is the dream of all athletes to be able to represent your country at the highest level internationally. The ability and privilege to do so is earned through hard work. perseverance, and dedication. I have always identified myself as a first-generation Polish American who is very proud of my roots and heritage. My parents, as many others, immigrated to the USA to look for better opportunities and the chance to find successes in a new country. I've known for a while now the unique privilege I have of being a dual national. Although I've never thought much about it because I just love everything about my roots and heritage, that's just me. But I know that in sports, you have to make a decision for who you want to compete for on the international stage. Being Polish means extremely hardworking, having faith, never talking or never taking no for an answer, pushing through hard times, and taking care of your family. I love everything about my heritage, from the people to the food to the cities. I am also extremely grateful for being given the possibility to play for Poland. With that being said, my heart is undoubtedly American. This country has given me and my family all the opportunities I could ever ask for. It's pushed me and supported me through the good and bad. I understand the privilege of wearing the badge, and the only time I put my head down is to kiss it. America is home, and that's who I'm going to represent. Thank you, everyone, for all the support and understanding. So that's his official statement, and yeah, as he said, it's big. He made it's a decision with the heart, kind of like with Giannis Musa and a few other formerly dual national players. They mind and heart and family. There's a lot of stuff that goes into a big player decision like that, which is why, despite all the pressure, you can really say, hey, play for us, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about them and the decision they make. And Gabriel Slonia, I'm going to say Gabriel Slonia again. Gabriel Slonia, right now, at the moment, has chosen to commit his future to the USMNT and the Yanks, and that makes everybody, all U.S. fans, really happy. But then again, keep in mind, he's still open should something happen to change for Poland because of the whole rule and the FIFA international dual national rules. So it's not set in stone yet unless he plays an official tournament game. So should I say he plays Nations League game, which once again that's going to be up to him to see if he feels comfortable with. But nonetheless, right now he is committed to the USMNT, and that makes everybody gives everybody a world of joy for the USMNT and the Yanks. So congratulations to Gabriel for that, and we wish him all the best. We can't wait to see you play, and we're looking forward to helping him. He's going to definitely benefit the future of this young generation and the continued pipeline that's going to the players right now in the U.S. So that's that. That's the Gabriel Slonia's player commitment video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next up, we are going to be doing, I believe, the Malik video for Germany, as he just committed to the USA. So we're going to find out all about Malik and yet another dual national player that's committed and is also going to add to the continued success and rise of the USMNT. So that video is going to come out shortly, but now that they just mentioned that the roster lineup has dropped, or maybe an unofficial roster has dropped for Nations League, we're going to have to check that out now. So yeah, that's going to be another video. But if you guys like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Also, remember to hit the bell notification that way when a video or any video for that matter is uploaded, especially the upcoming loads of US videos we've got coming up. And hopefully you guys enjoy them all, as I said. But tell all your friends that Gabriel Slonia is a Yank.